Assalamu alaikum and welcome everyone. This is me Urooj Aslam and today's discussion is all about a skill that impacts every part of our professional and personal life, effective writing and clear communication. Whether you are a student, a teacher, a professional or simply someone who wants to express ideas more confidently, this conversation will benefit you. To guide us through this important topic, we are joined today by Maya, a communication expert who specializes in helping people write better, think better, and communicate better. So let's dive into this insightful session. Hello, Maya. Why is strong writing and clear communication so important in today's world?
All right. So we're diving into effective writing and communication. It's a pretty foundational skill. Good communication breaks down so many barriers, both professionally and personally. What specifically about it are you hoping to unpack today?
Okay. What are the most common mistakes people make when trying to express their ideas?
Honestly, we assuming their audience is already on the same page. People tend to skip foundational context, jumping straight to their point without building a clear understanding first. It creates this immediate disconnect where the listener is lost or like they're missing something. And then there's jargon, using specialized language without realizing it alienates people. Simplicity is usually key.
Okay. How does improving one's writing automatically improve clarity in thinking?
That's a good question. I think it's because writing forces you to like structure your thoughts. You can't just throw ideas out there. You have to organize them logically, identify gaps in your reasoning, and articulate connections. Act of putting thoughts into coherent sentences reveals the fuzzy areas you hadn't consciously acknowledged. It's like outlining rain. You see the scaffolding where it needs reinforcing. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. Many people struggle with starting. What's your advice on how to begin writing effectively?
Ugh, that blank page paralysis is real. I think the biggest thing is to just start badly. Seriously, forget about perfection. Free write for minutes. Just get anything down, even if it's just rambling. The point is to break the inertia. Then, once you have something, anything, you can start shaping it. Also, knowing your audience helps. If you're writing for yourself, the pressure's off. If it's for others, thinking about their perspective can give you a starting point.
Okay. How important is structure in communication? How can someone create a strong structure?
Structure is hugely important. It's the backbone of clear communication. If it's a mess, people tune out. A simple method is the classic tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them and then tell them what you told them. Basically, an introduction with a clear roadmap, the main content, and then a concise summary. For longer pieces, outlines are your best friend. Break down the topic into logical sections with headings and subheadings. Visualizing it that way can really help.
Okay. What role does vocabulary play in good writing? Is using fancy words necessary?
Vocabulary is important, but not in the way people often think. It's not about showing off with words. It's about having the right word for the job. A precise, simple word is always better than a complicated, pretentious one. In fact, using unnecessarily complex language can actually obscure your meaning. Clarity trumps impressiveness every time. Focus on strong verbs and specific nouns and avoid cliches.
Okay. What techniques can help people keep their sentences clear and concise?
Okay, a few things. First, ditch the passive voice whenever possible. The report was written by me becomes I wrote the report, much more direct. Second, cut out filler words that really vary, basically. They add bulk without adding meaning. Combine choppy sentences. And finally, learn to love the delete key. Be ruthless with editing. If a word or phrase doesn't add value, get rid of it.
Okay, what are some effective ways to make written content more engaging for the reader?
Mm, engagement is key, right? Storytelling helps a lot. Even if you're discussing a dry topic, framing it as a narrative can draw people in. Also, use vivid language, descriptive words that create a picture in the reader's mind. Vary sentence length to keep things dynamic. And don't be afraid to use questions or address the reader directly. Make them feel like you're having a conversation. Also, breaking up large blocks of text with headings, bullet points, and visuals makes it easier on the eyes.
Okay, what is the importance of feedback in improving writing clarity?
Huge. It's essential. You get so close to your own writing that you become blind to its flaws. A fresh pair of eyes can spot ambiguity, inconsistencies, or awkward phrasing that you completely missed. Don't just ask anyone, though. Get feedback from people who represent your target audience. And be open to criticism. It's not personal. It's about making your writing as clear and effective as possible.
Okay, what habits should a person develop to become to become a good communicator?
Okay. If you want to build consistent communication skills, a few habits are key. First, read widely. Expose yourself to different writing styles and voices. Second, write regularly, even if it's just journaling. Third, actively listen to others. Really pay attention to how they communicate effectively. Fourth, practice summarizing complex information concisely. And finally, embrace feedback as a gift. Be willing to learn and adapt. It's less about innate talent and more about consistent effort. Does that resonate?
Okay, how does reading regularly contribute to better writing skill?
Kind of like osmosis, honestly. When you read a lot, you unconsciously absorb, different sentence structures, vocabulary, and storytelling techniques. You used to develop a sense of what sounds right and what doesn't. It also broadened your understanding of different perspectives and ways of expressing ideas, which then informs your own writing. It's not about copying others, it's about expanding your toolkit.
Okay, how can someone ensure that their message is interpreted the way they intend?
That's a really important point. Ensuring your message lands as intended is about anticipating how it might be received. First, know your audience. Tailor your language and tone to understanding and values. Second, be explicit about your purpose. State your main point up front. Third, provide context. Don't assume people have the same background knowledge as you. And finally, seek clarification. Ask questions to make sure you're understood as you intended. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it and who you're saying to.
Okay, what is the role of tone in communication and how can one choose the right tone?
Tone is massive. It's the emotional coloring of your message, and it can completely change how it's received, even more than the words themselves. Choosing the right tone depends on a few things: your audience, your purpose, and the context. Formal situations call for a professional and respectful tone. More casual settings allow for a friendlier, more conversational approach. You want to be authentic, but also mindful of how your tone might be interpreted. Err on the side of caution if you're unsure. It's always better to be perceived as respectful than insensitive.
Okay, finally, what key advice would you give to anyone who wants to write better and communicate clearly starting today?
If I had to boil it down to one thing, it would be this: practice intentionality. Before you write or speak, take a moment to consider your purpose, your audience, and the message you want to convey. Don't just react, be deliberate. Then be ruthlessly self critical. Review your work, ask for feedback, and constantly strive for clarity. It's not about being a natural writer, it's about developing a habit of mindful communication. Start small, be consistent, and you'll see improvement. Does that
Okay, thank you so much, Maya. Thank you so much, Maya, for sharing such practical, powerful, and easy to apply insights. Clear communication is truly a life changing skill, and today's conversation has given us valuable guidance to start improving right away. To all our listeners, remember writing well is not about perfection, it's about practice, clarity, and the courage to express your thoughts. Start small, stay consistent, and keep defining your message. Thank you all for joining us. Until next time, take care, stay confident, and continue building your voice. This is your host, Urooj. I'm signing off. Allah Hafiz.
You're very welcome. Glad I could contribute. And that's a great takeaway. It really isn't about perfection.